Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, to the World of Wrestling Podcast. Here today to discuss about AEW Dynamite, July 15, 2026 review, and this show absolutely stunk. This show sucked. I was bored out of my mind. I spent more time looking at MMA and boxing bets than I was looking at the damn screen and seeing what was going on with the action going on inside the ring. This show sucked. I literally have nothing to say. Nothing happened on this show. Outside of a little bit of hoorahing with Kenny Omega and about how he managed to believe in himself and all the... Can we just get to All In already? Like, literally, this show feels like there is nothing worth spending our time on. Let's just get to All In already. Let's get to August 30th, and let's get the ball rolling. Because between All In and SummerSlam, both of these shows so far seem like shit. At least SummerSlam, most definitely. All In, we have to see on that. But we can definitely tell. Redemption? There ain't no redemption for this shit. Kenny Omega got his redemption in Clearwater, Florida last week. This was such a waste. I don't even know why we're having redemption next weekend. I really don't understand this. Is it just to fill in space and time? To give people events to watch and tune in for? With what? Why? Why do you gotta go ahead and do that? Like, this show stunk. The wrestling on the show was okay. The match that, we got a match with the AEW Tag Team titles being on the line against, I think it was, I'm trying to remember who the fuck, oh yeah, Daniel Garcia and Wheeler Yuta. That match was okay. Jay White got involved in the match and helped them out to get the W and all that jazz. I don't know. The tag team titles have no challengers. And there's no story attached to those belts. Apparently, Kyle Fletcher, the new international champion who won the title last week, defended it this week against Commander. Why? No rhyme or reason. We just throw a match together. Yeah, it might be good, but there's nothing, no substance behind it. Does it matter to me? Does it matter to you? No. I mean, I don't know what to tell you guys. This show stunk the bed. I don't care about really sitting here and doing a review because there was nothing to talk about. You want to go over the matches? Fine, we can go over the matches. But storyline driven wise, nothing was here tonight. This show was terrible. I have not felt this bored and felt so, like, disconnected with AEW like I had tonight in a long while, honestly. And you guys know this. If you guys follow the channel, you guys know I have nothing but positive things to say about AEW most of the time. The only thing, my downside on it is the stories, there's no substance to them. There's not a lot of story going on. But matchmaking wise, great shit. If it was just an indie wrestling show, you know, and we had just events that happened here and there throughout the month, yeah, fine, whatever. But you want to go ahead and have a week-to-week television show? Give me some fucking stories. Or otherwise, what is it doing on week-to-week? What are we doing? Wrestling, there's nothing to talk about there. The matches were not bad. The matches were okay. You had Jake Doyle going up against Andrade El Idolo. Andrade won. Great. Kyle Fletcher won against fucking Commander. He won in a decent matchup, and then later on in the show, after Brody King and Bandito won their tag team match, which was nothing. It was a throwaway match. They're challenging. Bandito is challenging Kyle Fletcher for the International Championship by throwing some shit in his face that says Bandito won it or some shit like that. Why is Bandito getting championship opportunities while Brody King just sits there and does tag team matches and they don't get no tag team match? I don't know. Why aren't we getting a story with Brody King and Bandito challenging Adam Copeland and Christian at Redemption for the AEW tag team titles? Why aren't we doing that? They've been winning as a tag team. Bandito ain't winning as a singles wrestler. I'm sorry to break it to y'all. I mean, if you want to make sense, make sense. This makes absolutely no sense. To me, it makes zero sense at all. Match quality-wise, yes, the match is going to be great. But we got no story. The story is nothing. Bandito won a tag team match. He's getting an international championship match. Where does this make sense to you guys? Don't make any sense to me. This is my problem. I do not get this company, man. You had Redemption. You couldn't hold off with MJF and Kenny Omega for the AEW World title, and we had to have that last week. Now we have the main event for Redemption for right now is going to be Kenny Omega and Kevin Knight for the AEW World Championship while he's holding a TNT Championship belt. And supposedly, the TNT Championship belt's being defended next week against Darby Allin, who attacked Kevin Knight in the middle of the segment that we had in this show. I'm not covering this whole show, guys. I'm dead ass serious. I am tired. I am not in a very good mood. My back is kind of hurting me. And I am just in a really shitty ass mood, and this show did not help. I mean, I'm not really that shitty ass mood. I'm not in a happy-go-lucky mood right now because of my back not feeling good. I don't know what the hell happened. I must have pulled my back in the middle of the night while I was sleeping or something. I don't know. Or slept wrong. But, bottom line, guys, I don't want to sit here and talk all this damn, like my normal videos go like about 30 minutes to almost 45 minutes doing this review. Because there's nothing here. What else happened on this show? We had a 6 women's tag team match with, let me just go over the match card. At least I can do that for you guys. Because bottom line storytelling, there was nothing there. Stories were not here tonight at all. Very disappointing show. Very, very dull, boring event. And let me tell you, Redemption, I don't know, guys. I don't think Redemption's worth a fucking buy at all. It really isn't. This is probably going to be one of the worst pay-per-views in a very long while. I really don't think we're going to get a whole lot from this, honestly. I think this is going to be a very piss-poor show, this event. We're going to get Chris Jericho, by the way, facing Tommaso Ciampa in a rematch. He's going by his alter ego, the Painmaker, that Chris Jericho used to go by in New Japan Pro Wrestling. So I'm figuring he's going to win that match since Tommaso Ciampa ended up winning his match. So yeah, Jake Doyle went up against Andrade El Idolo. The first match of the night was the tag team titles. They retained. Jake Doyle and Andrade El Idolo, they went at it, and this was not a bad match either. Andrade El Idolo won this match. Kenny Omega had his celebration segment about him winning the World Championship, and the Young Bucks presented to him the original AEW World title that we usually see, excluding MJF's custom-made belt, which, honestly, I like MJF's custom-made belt around Kenny Omega more than the actual AEW black leather belt. To be quite frank with you. I mean, I like the brown color of that belt. I like the version that Ric Flair used to carry around with the big gold belt. He had a brown, light colored strap. It looked pretty good on the WCW World Heavyweight Championship, formerly known as the NWA World title. But still, I mean, I thought that was pretty nice little touch with a brown strap with the world title, and this has a similar look to it. I kind of like that a lot better than the black strapped AEW world title. I'm not saying that the title is terrible, but I kind of like the brown one on Kenny Omega better than the regular AEW world title. But yeah, the Young Bucks didn't like the idea of him carrying around that strap, so they presented him with the original AEW black strap instead, and they put away the BBB, the Triple B title. Kevin Knight introduced himself after Will Ospreay did a nice big speech about how you weren't the only one who, all these people and myself believed in you, but at the end of the day, you had to believe in yourself in order to win this title, and you did that on your own. So I'm proud of you, and I can't wait for us to go at it at All In on August 30th. I'm really hoping that this whole thing is a retirement match, because I've heard news, like rumors going around on the internet that it actually wasn't Will Ospreay who asked for this. MJF insisted to drop the title to Kenny Omega so that Kenny can have this match with Will Ospreay. The only way I could figure MJF would do something that courteous to a fellow co-worker like that is the fact that Kenny Omega's having his last match at All In. That is what I'm figuring. That's what I believe is going to happen. Because why would Kenny Omega need to be at All In against Will Ospreay if he's not retiring after this? If I was him, that's what I would do. I'd end up retiring and work behind the scenes. He doesn't need to be wrestling anymore. So if that was the path that they're going on here, I'm cool with it, and I'm down with the move. But this redemption pay-per-view event didn't need to happen. I honestly don't see any point of anyone purchasing it unless they have the My AEW subscription through a VPN that they use, which I do. And I pay $19.99 a month for it. So I don't have to pay $39.99 plus the subscription to HBO Max. I mean, don't get me wrong, I want to be supportive of AEW, and I figure this is the best way to do that while not stealing or, like going on a piracy website or something and doing it that way. I don't want to do that shit. I want to do it legitimate. I want to be a little bit supportive while also being within my budget range here. Spending $39.99 a month plus a fucking plus the actual HBO Max every month. The only reason why I have HBO Max is so that my wife can enjoy what she watches on there, because she uses it, and she has quite a few subscriptions that I use of hers that she pays for on her own. So I figured the nicest thing I can do is really keep the HBO Max anyway, even though I don't need it for any other reason but AEW wrestling. And I'm not going to spend $39.99 a month to do that. Plus, spending the $18.49 a month for the HBO Max itself. I think that's just crazy. This pay-per-view is going to be... Everybody's time with this is going to be a waste. It's going to suck. Kevin Knight is the challenger at Redemption. Over a promise that MJF never gave him. They had to win that steel cage match. They did not win that steel cage match. I don't know why Kevin Knight is getting a world championship opportunity just because MJF said if his team wins, which they didn't, he would get a world title match. Now, unless I miss a minor segment that I wasn't paying attention to with MJF and Kevin Knight one episode after the Forbidden Door show, he doesn't have any right to challenge for the AEW World Title at all. A match I would have been fine with watching is Okada versus Kenny Omega for the World Championship. Yeah, it would have been out of left field. It wouldn't have made a whole lot of fucking sense. I mean, they could have done a mini tournament, 4-man tournament. Have 2 matches this week, and then have the finals on next week's Dynamite, and Okada could have been the one coming out of that as the winner. At least it would have made a little bit of sense, and we would have had a reasonable challenger for that title that would sell tickets with Kenny Omega. I think a lot of people would tune in to see Okada and Kenny Omega. Not to mention it would make sense towards the Redemption pay-per-view title, because Kenny Omega did not beat Okada recently in AEW. Last year's All In, he lost. So, him losing to Okada last year, and then them facing each other this year at a Redemption in his hometown, no less, or at least his home country, and winning against one of the biggest rivals he's ever had in New Japan or anywhere in pro wrestling, I think it would have been a fantastic idea. Now, granted, we wouldn't have really gotten any story, but really, is this any story? There is no story here. This is pointless bullshit. It's just a lazy way of throwing a match together to say, here you go, here's a world title match for Redemption in Canada. Like, what are we doing? This is god-awful terrible shit. Really terrible stuff. I don't get this crap. This sucks. But yeah, that's pretty much what happened there. Once the Don Callis family came out, though, during the breakdown of this, when Kevin Knight finally told Kenny Omega, I ain't got a heart, I'm got glory in my heart, or whatever it was, he hit Kenny Omega with the microphone, and then Will Ospreay came in to make the save, and then the rest of the Don Callis family came down to attack Will Ospreay, and then the Death Riders came out to back him up, and then the Don Callis family retreated and got out of Dodge. And that's pretty much what happened there. As well as Darby Allin attacking Kevin Knight, and then Brian Cage demolished Darby Allin, which led to a match later in the show with Darby Allin going one-on-one with Brian Cage, which really was a fucking pathetic match. Why this was even taking place, I have no idea outside the attack that was done earlier in the show. Brodito, Bandito, and Brody King went up against Aaron Solo and Nick Comoroto. Nothing really important happened there. He ends up winning that match. Kyle Fletcher, commander for the International Championship, already discussed that. He won that match as well. So, I mean, I'm not impressed with the show. The show just sucked ass. Darby Allin beat Brian Cage. A lot of people were invested in Kevin Knight and trying to make him see that there's still a good guy in there. Mike Bailey was another one. And he said that he would forgive him if he decided to come back to the good guy side. Whatever fucking the come back to the light, whatever bullshit. Darby Allin ended up winning his match against Brian Cage in a ridiculous matchup that should have never been. When you got two guys of different stature that you in a real sport wouldn't even be in the same weight class and wouldn't be able to compete against each other. I mean, Darby Allin should be in lightweight or bantamweight or featherweight, not fucking heavyweight wrestling with a guy starring roided out Brian Cage. That guy is fucking roided out to the max. I really wonder why Tony Khan hasn't drug tested this dude. My God, he does not belong in a wrestling ring anymore. He belongs in a time machine going back to the early 2000s or fucking the 1990s. Guy's fucking outrageous, or the 1980s for that matter. Anyway, the main event was Willow Nightingale, Maya World, and Han. I'm sorry, I'm trying to pronounce that correctly. Versus Mercedes Moné and Divine Dominion with Lena Cross and Megan Bayne. And Mercedes Moné ends up getting the victory here for her team. And they end up celebrating as the show goes off the air, and that was your Dynamite episode. What a load of shit. This show sucked. Nothing to talk about here, man. If you guys enjoyed this episode, good for you. I'm glad you had some entertainment out of it. I know I sure as hell didn't. I could have been doing something else with my time, but I have this YouTube channel, so I am trying to stay consistent with what I'm trying to cover on my channel. But honestly, guys, this show sucked. Major balls. But anyway, at this time, guys, you know what to do. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. Leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. Thank you guys very much for watching, and have a great night, guys. Bye.